Afternoon, guys. Well, after that disastrous performance at home to Arsenal, we get 3 points at home to West Ham, and it was another inept performance. First half where pretty much non-existent, and the second half it all boiled down to the final 5 minutes of the game. Romelu Lukaku was brought late on. He gets pulled down in the box, well, judged to have, and as a result, we end up with a penalty, and up steps Mr. Reliable with his normal hop, skip, and a jump way of doing things. And this time it all went horribly wrong. We effectively passed it directly to the keeper. And what was thought of then as, well, that just about sums up the entire day and how things are going for us right now. It looks as though the points were going to be shared, and 0-0 was going to be reflective of exactly what the type of game it was. But then came that last minute situation, which, let's be honest, is one of the best feelings in football, that last minute goal, last minute winner. And Marcus Alonso's fantastic ball across, finding Christian Pulisic, who shot edge past the goalkeeper, who should have, I think, done better with that. But nevertheless, it was 3 points won at the death, and a result that puts that cushion back between us and Arsenal, and indeed Spurs. And I guess you could toss in Manchester United, who are our next team that we face on Thursday night in that rearranged fixture. But 5 points now clear of the chasing pack with a game in hand. It's advantage Chelsea once again. But we made hard work of it. It was another terrible performance at home at Stamford Bridge. I know that the manager's made reference to the bumpiness of the pitch and the fact that it does us no favours in terms of the playing surface and how we like to play. But it's no excuse. It was piss poor, but it's 3 points, and I guess you have to look at all the pointers with regards to this season to look at exactly where we are and say, do you know what? We have actually done fantastically well. Within a year, 6 finals our managers as managers to get to, and all that effort, so much effort that was put in Madrid in that particular game. I think after that factor, it was quite incredible how we got that victory in the FA Cup semi-final against Crystal Palace, but we were going to peter out. And I guess it's the whole psychological factor of all of that and all that's going on within the club, because let's be honest, it's dragging itself right out right now, and we need this now to come to a conclusion. And quick mention on a couple of footballers, in particular Andreas Christensen, who just seems to be playing as though he wants, he's looking at things elsewhere, i.e. Barcelona. And for that factor alone, if there's a possibility where we don't have to pick him, I hope that Thomas Tuchel doesn't, because right now you need 100% commitment to where his mindset is right now. And the second one is Antonio Rudiger, where it's now reported that a deal has been done, been struck between himself, his agents, and indeed Real Madrid. And I'm disappointed. I have to say I'm disappointed, but it doesn't surprise me, because all footballers are mercenaries, and there is no loyalty anymore in the game to any one particular club. And you could argue, with all that's gone on, etc., he could have, sort of just taken that scenario right to the end, certainly after the announcement of our new owners, and then maybe something could have been a little bit more conclusive to what he's looking towards. But you certainly don't sort of make that announcement prior, or at least, I know Thomas Tuchel kind of like confirmed things in his last press conference, but I have to say I am disappointed with him. I don't think from a football perspective we're going to miss that much. I think from a motivational perspective and the type of character he is, he's a man motivator. He's a person that you can see, is strong in there and mentally strong with regards to, and a winner, and someone that a lot of the players, I guess, look up to, because he's someone that's always involved, always in the mix. We'll have to see how he gets on in Spain, but once again, it's this whole scenario with regards to the club and the club being sold and everything else. We knew there could be potentially at least 2 casualties of war, and so it seems that they're both off to La Liga and Spain respectively. So there you go. No surprises, I have to say, not really, because it's been pretty much well documented from a number of weeks now. But I am disappointed, not so much with Andreas Christensen, but certainly with Antonio Rudiger, because I don't know, maybe it's me foolishly expecting more from people that put on that iconic blue jersey, but that, as I say, that's just something I guess I'll have to just accept. For it is what it is. 2020, and this is the modern day footballer in the modern day game of football. But there you go. United up next. We know that their form isn't great. New manager, of course. Because of that factor, I expected them to ping Arsenal, but they didn't. They lost 3-1, and so it seems they're likely to be not being in Champions League football next season. But we all know what they're capable of, especially at home, especially against us. So we should just have to wait and see what happens there. So we've just got to ride this situation out now to the end of the season, and of course it all really stems on May the 14th and the FA Cup final. That's the main one. We want all our players fit and full of energy for that, because we know how good Liverpool are, and we're going to have to be literally playing over and above ourselves if we've got any ambitions of not only ruining that quadruple, but winning that competition ourselves and gaining another trophy. I notice in the press a lot of people out there are saying, well, is that going to salvage our season, to actually, win a trophy? Well, they forget that we have indeed won 2 trophies this season already, which is UEFA Super Cup and of course the World Club Cup. So winning the FA Cup will be a 3rd trophy this season in what's been an incredible season in terms of a roller coaster, in terms of all the situations that's all gone on. And as I say, I just hope that this whole situation ends with regards to the new owners, and we can put to bed everything and then go again. Of course, we've now got to go out and find a centre half. Got some great players that can return. I've been out on loan, we all know that, but we have to certainly address certain players. Although one of those players that I thought we'd have to address, Timo Werner, seems to be playing like the player that we actually bought. He's certainly playing over and above himself right now, getting on the score sheet and getting always involved in the action, and he's certainly one of the 3 players now, it seems, always picked by Thomas Tuchel. So he's played himself into form, his confidence is up, and I guess the question is, do we keep him for another season? What do we do with Romelu Lukaku? Can he come good? Can we get him right? These are all questions we have to ask ourselves, and of course there's lots to talk in terms of our midfield. Will Jorginho go? Will we cash in on Kante, bearing in mind his age and the club's policy on players when they reach that particular time? And of course he's got massive wages, he's the highest earner in the team. I believe he's the highest earner, if not him and Romelu Lukaku, maybe Kai Havertz. So there's lots of questions there. Obviously there's that left back position with regards to cover for Ben Chilwell. Do we stick with Marcos Alonso? I know he's on massive wages himself, so to get rid of him, you know, it'd have to be a club that's prepared to pay what he's, you know, what he's on. And of course, there's the whole centre half scenario now. I noticed Chalobah's come back, and I'm really buzzing about that. But of course, we've had Antonio Rudiger going, Andreas Christensen, and a 37-year-old Brazilian at the back that's not going to play every game. We do have to address that situation. 100%. We need a minimum of 1, if possible 2 centre halves. We need a 10, possibly another 6, because I think one of those. We know certain combinations work. We know Mateo Kovacic is probably the best out of all of them. If we're sticking with Kante Kovacic works. Jorginho, we know he's great at what he does, holding onto the ball, but in the Premier League, is it you know, a 38 game a season type player? Probably not. We know that Reece James on the right hand side is absolutely perfect. But you know, so we need to. There's certain areas of the pitch now we have to look at and decide for ourselves what's best for us. Ruben Loftus-Cheek's another one. Then of course there's Kai Havertz, absolutely been a revelation. Always has a great second period to the season, doesn't he? Seems he's doing exactly the same thing again. And he's only young. Mason Mount, ever dependable. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is the big one. You know, can he be the player that we all know he can be? Can he be consistent in doing what he does? Then of course there's Christian Pulisic here at the weekend, Captain America and all that one. Great for overseas shirt sales and obviously America, and especially if we're bought out by an American owner. And then of course there's Hakim Ziyech. You know, has he done enough? Can we afford to give him another season? These are all questions. Callum Hudson-Odoi, there's another. You know, so I imagine there's going to have to be a bit of business done for sure. And I just want to kind of like get to the end of this season now, win the FA Cup, and then we can start thinking about the new season with new players and new emphasis, and you know. But anyway, guys, nice to speak to you again. It's been a little while. As I say, United up next at Old Trafford. 3 points there, and I think that's pretty much it. You know, and I'd like us to be in a situation where we can look towards that FA Cup final. You know, maybe just secure the situation so we don't have to worry too much about looking over our shoulders anymore, and then go forwards to Wembley for the FA Cup, as I say, on May the 14th, my birthday. So there you go. Anyway, guys, speak to you soon, and up the chops.